Good evening, my beautiful souls, and thank you so very much for coming here today to watch another interview from the Legacy Creation series. This series is a series of interviews where I'm inviting people to speak about themselves, to speak about their lives, to speak about the legacy that they intend to leave for generations to come. Because most of the time when we think about legacies, we think about legacy in terms of material possessions like a car, a house, land, and so on. But I'm more interested to see how we impact our souls, how we impact our lives, not only from material possessions. And today's guest is Bonnie Hardie. And I had a talk with Bonnie a couple of weeks ago, and she was telling me very interesting stories. Right now, she is a owner of the Rock Solid social media. She's a social media marketer and a business consultant. And she did mention when we spoke weeks ago that she's been homeless. And I was so impressed by your story, Bonnie. And I was so impressed by the power that you have inside yourself and the strength that you have and everything that you had to overcome on a personal level to really be, an international businesswoman. So without further ado, Bonnie, tell us who you are and what you're doing. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, well, first of all, thank you, Adina. I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me today and ask me about my experience. Like we did, like when we spoke before, I told you that, I used to be homeless. I live in Central Florida, and during the summer of 2016, due to a lot of different things, everything just came crashing all together all at once. I ended up being homeless, and I actually lived in a tent in the woods in Central Florida in the summertime. So you can imagine how that was. And
The
then
heat and everything.
Yeah, the heat and everything I had was all in one little tiny spot. I didn't really have a lot, but whatever I had was in the tent, and that was it for the day. And after a little while, I ended up totally losing the tent completely, and I was totally homeless. Everything I owned, I fit into 2 gym bags and a backpack. And I had my bicycle. Luckily, where I was living when I was homeless, kind of sounds oxymoronic to say, oh, when I was living where I was homeless, but I was right down the street from Walt Disney World, like 2 miles away from Disney World. So there was a lot of hotels and different places I could go and be inside. So, and actually, Christmas Day 2016 and New Year's Day 2017, I woke up sleeping on a bus stop bench. And then Easter Sunday 2017, I woke up sleeping in the mulch of a closed down coffee shop, and I used my backpack as a pillow. So you really can't get much lower than waking up on a bus stop bench on Christmas Day and New Year's Day. I am happy to say now I do have a roof over my head, and I do have plans next year. I want to buy a van, fix up so I can live in it, and then I'm going to drive around the United States and Canada. I'm going to be giving speeches on mindset, personal development, doing my business consulting, things like that. I might write a book. I don't, we'll see what happens. But I use my mindset to be really strong, and I reframe my negatives into positives. So, and I just, took it as it was happening for me and not to me. I had to, be resilient and dig deep. And I didn't let it turn me bitter. I let it turn me better, because without that happening, I wouldn't be where I am today. So who knows what would have happened. And actually earlier this year in January, I live in Florida, as we just talked about. I flew from Florida to England to spend 2.5 weeks in England. I met my mindset business coach, Liz, and I had a very successful networking luncheon with a bunch of friends. We did touristy things. We did personal things. So to go from January 2017, sleeping on a bus stop bench, to January 2019, being in England. And I've had international clients. I've had clients locally, internationally. So I think that's really pretty good to go from being homeless to being able to fly 4,000 miles. So it was really cool to do that.
You have such an exceptional story, and I love how you said that you didn't let anything to make you bitter, but to make you better.
Right.
But I'm very interested if you want to share with us, because we often say, like, when we hit rock bottom, everything goes up. Yeah, from
Right.
there. But your rock bottom was really the bottom.
Rock bottom. Right.
That was
And that's
really the bottom.
that. Right.
How did you manage to, you spoke about resilience, you spoke about negative and positive, but how did you manage to do that? Because my mind cannot comprehend
Yeah.
yet.
Right. I just you told myself it can't get any worse. It can only get better. And people knew my story, but I didn't because sometimes you can tell who's homeless and who's not. There's people who've been homeless a long time, and you don't want to judge. And I can understand why, because people just beat you down, beat you down, beat you down. Luckily for me, I had been established for a long time already. I had driver's license, Social Security card. I had a mailbox at a UPS store. That's my official address. So a lot of things happened, an injury, people breaking their promise to me. So everything just came together in a perfect storm. But, luckily for me, I don't have any kids. It was just me and my stuff, so I could be, flexible. And the city that I was living in didn't have any homeless shelters or anything. So, but everything was close by, so I could spend time at the library, at the Starbucks, at the grocery store. As long as I had Wi-Fi, I could get online. So I just tried to start doing stuff online. I love to be online. That's why I have my online business. My mantra is, I'm the wind beneath your wings. I was rock bottom to rock solid. That's why the name of my business is Rock Solid, because now I'm rock solid. So I might end up getting a tattoo that says Rock Solid. People call me Unbreakable Bonnie too. So we'll see how that goes. But you just have to dig deep and prove to yourself and other people that you can do this. And if I can go through that, I go through anything. And other people can go through anything and bounce back. But basically, that's just, you can bounce back.
Yes, absolutely. And again, I loved how you said it. You are the wind underneath your wings.
Right.
And you did manage to fly, and you're still flying. And
Right.
I can't wait to see where you're going, But leave that a little bit aside. How do you make your everyday count?
Well, every time I wake up, this is kind of corny to say. You hear people say it all the time. If you have a roof over your head and a bed to sleep on, this and that and the other, you're grateful. And I truly am grateful. I challenge people, go sleep out in a tent in your backyard for 2 days. Once you go out there, you have no electricity, no Wi-Fi, no bathroom, no nothing like that. And then see, every single day you have to do that. So you just need to be grateful and appreciate what you have, and don't worry about what you don't have. Everybody's life is different, and I've seen people who live in a really nice house, got a really nice job, got a husband. They're not nice people. I would rather have less and be a nice person, have people respect me. People that I don't even know just through Facebook are commenting and telling me I'm a strong, resilient person. And it's like, well, that's really cool. So I would rather have,
Yes.
people say, hey, you're a cool person, Bonnie. I like you. I admire what you do, and I want to be your friend, and I'm glad I am your friend. That's my legacy, is I want people to, be my friend, basically, and appreciate what I've gone through, and have other people appreciate what they do have, and not always complain about every little thing. I mean, it's the holidays now. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving in the United States. Some people, they're not even going to have a Thanksgiving. They have nothing to eat. So, be grateful. Even if you don't have a lot, be grateful for what you do have.
The gratitude takes another meaning, has another
Right.
meaning, and it just goes to so many different levels in our lives.
Right.
But we are so often, we forget about them.
Right.
We just take everything for granted. And
Right.
I think whoever is friend with you, and I'm blessed to call myself a friend with you now, just through the conversations that we had in the last few weeks, because you are such an inspirational woman, and just the way you have such a positivity, even when you talk.
Right.
Bonnie, even when you talk, you cannot say no to things. You cannot say, I'm not going to do that.
Right.
Like, you have this aura around you. It's absolutely beautiful. Bonnie, tell us a little bit more about the legacy that you're leaving. Like you mentioned that you want to buy the van and you want to go and travel around America to give motivational speeches, I suppose, and motivational workshops. So what do you have in mind?
Well, there's several different things I have in mind. I like I said, I want to talk to people about mindset and personal development, because your mindset is really important for things. If when I was homeless, I would have been acting like I'm the victim and why didn't you help me? You're my friend. Why didn't you help me? You would be like, Bonnie, go away. But I didn't act like that. And I never asked anybody for anything. If you offer me something, I'm not going to say no, but I'm
Yes.
not going to ask for anything. So bitter people keep being more bitter and more bitter. You complain you don't have any friends, and then because you're complaining all the time, so you just make it worse. So I said, let's just make the best of a bad situation. Is eventually it's something's going to come out of this. And I've talked to people. It's like when you're treading water. You're in the ocean and you're treading water. You see the shore and you're going there. You're going there, and it's not there. You're getting closer, but you can't tell until suddenly your feet hit solid ground and you stand up and the shore's right there. Keep treading water. Just keep treading water. And I just want to show people that, hey, no matter how bad it can get, it can always be worse. So I just really want to show people that, just appreciate, show gratitude. Don't be acting like you're all that in a bag of chips, because when we die, that's it. So just be cool. And I don't need a lot of stuff. I can fit everything I want in the van, drive around. It'll be my home and it'll be my vehicle. And I'll never have to worry about being homeless again. So, and then I can drive around the United States, Canada, and I can meet a lot of my friends online, meet a ton of other people. And there might even be a world tour. We'll have to see. I know people all over the world, so we'll have to see what happens in the summertime. So keep an eye on this space. I've talked to some people about it already. We'll have to see what happens. And I want to meet a lot of my friends in person. And, I met them when I went over to England already. So it was really cool.
I hope you're coming again, because I'm in England. I'm in London.
Yes. Well, I'm thinking right now about going in the end of March for a little while. So we'll have to see how everything works out, and then we'll have. Just depends on how stuff works out with getting the van and taking a United States tour and a world tour, and say, hey, rock bottom to rock solid. That might be the name of the book I write. Rock bottom to rock solid. We'll have to see. So that's why I call my business rock solid, because I used to be rock bottom. Now I'm rock solid. Almost. I'm not totally quite rock solid, but I'm getting there.
Yes, I'm sure you will. You mentioned something. You didn't ask, but you received. You allowed yourself to receive. It sounds like a life lesson as well. It's not really like a mindset. Because we speak a lot about law of attraction, and we keep asking, and we get disappointed when we don't receive. But the way you said it, like, even there at the rock bottom, you just received. You didn't ask for anything. You just, whatever you received, you are grateful for what it was. And it just comes into my mind, that is like a brilliant life lesson, how we should be approaching everything. Even when we have the intention, like, I want something, but that's it. Just stay and receive it.
Right. It's really hard to receive things. And I mean, this day and age, you have to look out for yourself. And people say, but for the grace of God, go I. Anybody can be homeless at any time.
Absolutely.
Stuff happens. We have hurricanes in the United States. Hurricane could come through, tear your house down, and then what are you going to do? That's part of the reason I want to get the van, because then if I get into an accident, I'd be kind of in trouble. But it's much cheaper once you buy the van and fix it up the way I want to go after that. And then I can wake up every day in a different place. I can it's getting close to winter time. People come down south. So I'll be down south during the winter time, and I'll be up north during the summertime. And you just have to, like, be grateful, be a receiver. If people want to give you something, that's perfectly fine. Don't say no. I had somebody literally give me the jacket off of their back, took off their jacket and gave it to me. And I had somebody give me a blanket because they saw me sleeping on a bus stop bench with nothing on top of me. So, hey, and these are total strangers. So it's like, yeah, and it makes you feel good to give something to somebody else, even if you don't have a lot yourself. $5 could be a lot of money to somebody to go get some stuff to eat.
Absolutely.
So it's good to be a receiver, and it's good to be a giver because it makes you feel really good to be a giver.
Be a giver. I absolutely agree with that. Bonnie, as a social media marketer and the business consultant, what exactly do you do? How do you help people from that perspective?
Well, what I do is I help business owners with, take back time. When you have a business, you have a lot of things you need to do for the business. So I help them do some of that. If you have an idea, I help you get the idea from your head and implement it out. And everybody gets real busy at the holidays. You want to take some time off from the business. You want to spend time for yourself. So I just help people do different things in their business so they can spend the time, in their business. And so, sorry, I lost my train of thought for a second. So sometimes that happens. So yeah, I just help business owners. I like to talk to people who have like a 9-to-5 job and they want to have their own business, and they're busy in the 9-to-5. So tell me what you want me to do, and I'll do it. I just had somebody not that long ago. I did stuff on LinkedIn for her. I connected her with people. I sent messages to people to have them join her group. So she was busy at her job, so I did that, so that way she didn't have to worry about it. So tell me what you need me to do, and I'll do it, and I'll help you grow your business. So because this day and age, having a 9-to-5 job, sometimes it's not always steady, and you never know what's going to happen. You hear so many businesses closing down. It's better to be your own boss. So I do, group management, help them come up with ideas. Content repurposing, I can tell you how to take one piece of content and use it like 15 different ways. I'm really into the efficiency, time management, organization, because you want more time for what? To spend time with your family, with your friends. You want to be able to, take some time off at the holidays and not worry about something going on in your business. Well, let me do that. I can help you with that. And I just help people they have the idea, they don't know how to get it out. So talk to me, and we'll get the business idea from here to here, and help design programs and things like that. What is your zone of genius? What do you like to do the most? How can we turn that into a money-making business so that you have the freedom to do what you want? When I get the van, I can run my business from anywhere, be a digital nomad. That's what people want. To be able to say, okay, thank God it's Friday, I got the day off. Or right now with the Thanksgiving, people have 4 days off. So, you want to be able to take the time off if you need to take the time off. If something happens with your kids, you don't want to have to call into work and you have a sick day or whatever. So I just help people find more freedom in their business so they can run their business more productively.
Yeah, so it's kind of liberating them for an extra stress and give them time to enjoy with their families or whatever they want to be doing.
Right.
They don't have the time after the 9-to-5, because I've been there. I had the 9-to-5, and after that I was running the business, and it was an excruciating time.
Right.
And now looking back, I don't know how I managed to do it, but I think you just take one day at a time and just do it, But it's such a slow, painful process.
Yeah, definitely,
Full-time business. I'm like, why didn't I do this, before? It's just, it's that fear to make the jump.
Yeah, you just have to do it. What's the worst that can happen? And, in 33 days, it's going to be 2020. We're into a whole new decade. Don't
Wow.
wait anymore. Just make the jump and do it. What's the worst that could happen? Pull yourself up by your bootstraps and say, hey, I'm going to do this. Give yourself a time limit. Do it as if your life depended on it, because sometimes it does.
It
You
does,
see
yes.
jobs closing all the time. There's businesses that have thousands of people and they say, okay, next Tuesday is your last day. You're like, okay, well, so if you have your own business, you can mark out
Yes.
on down the line. It's like I have people figure out a goal and we work backwards. What's your income goal? What's your client, your customer goal? What do you want to do? And then, you're not at the whim of somebody else, because you never know. And you really don't, you really want to run your own life and have somebody run your life. That's for sure.
Yes. It's very interesting because lots of people, and me included, until recently, I saw my business as a safety net.
Right.
I so changed my mentality, and now I see a potential job as a safety net.
Right.
I just cut all my avenues. I refuse. I actively refuse to go back into a job until I make this really
Right.
what I want it to be, because I've been postponing it for so long.
Right.
So I've been running part-time business. I just stopped it,
Right.
and
Right.
I have my avenues. That's it. A job is just a safety net in case I need it. I'm sure I will get it,
Right.
but that's just for the safety thing. But we are so embedded in our head. I think it's the culture, not only in England or my home country, Romania, everywhere, that we
Right.
need that job. We grow up, we go through school that we need a job, that it gives you the security. It's such an illusion.
Right.
Only security that you have is a business, but you have to bloody work it.
Right.
If we put as
Definitely.
much effort, if we put as much effort and as much dedication in our businesses as we put in our jobs, I think we
Right.
will be so much more advanced, money
Right.
wise,
Yeah.
family wise, and everything.
Definitely. Yeah. And you have to have like no safety net, no plan B, because if you have a plan B, that's an out.
That
It's
is
like, hey, this is what I'm going to do. I'm telling myself by December 31st, I'm going to quit my job. Sometimes you have to really go out and say, just give them 2-week notice. And then you have to do something. You have to have somebody put their foot up your butt or whatever, and you have to go and do it, because some people, they just get, not really lazy, but they get into the routine of doing stuff. It's like, look, we're getting ready to go into a whole new decade. Do you want to keep doing, in 10 years and 1 year from now, do you want to be in the same spot? No. And it's so cool for me to see people that 6 months ago were in a 9 to 5 and now they have their own business, and to know that I helped them. That's where the "I'm the wind beneath your wings" comes from.
And
you
that is
know
part of your legacy, you're part of their business. I feel the same with everything that I'm doing, whatever, when
right.
I'm helping my clients or even my friends who I'm helping. It's like, oh, I'm part of that as well. Somehow I left my footprint there.
Yes, definitely. And it's really cool to know that you helped even a little bit, help somebody get a book out, help somebody do to grow their business, help somebody to come up with a program and say, hey, I helped do that. So yeah, I'm the wind beneath your wings. I'm kind of in the background doing stuff, and I love talking to people about. Talked to the bus driver the other day about her growing her. She wants to have a business. She doesn't have to drive a bus all day. So it's like, okay, which is on a genius, what you like. So in
Yes.
15 minutes, we kind of had something worked out. It's like, well, that's really cool,
Wow. Now she just has to go to implement it.
Yeah,
And I'm very
definitely.
aligned with that as well. Having things in mind, how can my audience and those who are watching us reach you? How can they connect with you?
They can reach me through Facebook, Bonnie
Okay.
S. Hardie, facebook.com/Bonnie S. Hardie, or they can send me an email, bonniehardie@yahoo.com. I'll put everything in the
Yes, please.
comments
Yes.
of everything like that. And I am going to be getting a website pretty soon talking about everything that I'm doing. And, just beyond that, tell them to send me a friend. I end up today having like 10 friend requests come in. So I'm getting a lot of friend requests lately. So that's really cool. I am going
Yes.
to be going through and deleting people that I've been friends with a long time that aren't as same mindset and things like that. So just, send me a friend request, send me a private message, tell me a little bit about yourself. You know, what do you want? Right now I have a Black Friday special that actually ends on Monday. You get 5 hours of me helping you, social media, virtual assistants, business stuff, for just $175 for 5
Wow, that
hours.
is a
And you
bargain.
can use the hours whenever you want. You can, once you pay for it, tell me what you need. If you don't need me to do anything for you till January, that's fine. You need me to do something for you next week, that's fine. So I'm gonna only have so many people come in at, for that amount. So if they want 5 hours of me helping them with their business, social media, virtual assistants, business coaching, business whatever, business consulting, $175. That expires on Monday. So we'll see how that goes, and that's how they get a hold of me, and that's my Black Friday special.
That's absolutely beautiful. And this interview, I'm going to post it on my page on Friday. So it's still okay for
Perfect.
the Friday offer if you have it until Monday. Bonnie, thank you so, so much for sharing all these absolutely amazing things with us. And I don't know, this part of your life we see sometimes only in movies, or we are so, how to say, we don't dare to imagine we will ever be in that situation. And here you
Right.
are,
Right.
a bundle of positivity. And I've thoroughly enjoyed talking with you now and over these few weeks since I met you. So thank you so much again.
Thank you very much, Adina, for inviting me to be part of your legacy series. I do appreciate it. Everybody's got a great legacy to leave, and what do you want people to think about you when they say your name? Do you want them to think something good or something bad and say, hey, that's Bonnie, that's my friend, I'm glad I met her in person? So, be a cool person to other people, and people will be a cool person to you. That's
Very cool
my
people.
motto. Be cool to
Cool.
me, I'll be cool to you, so that's my motto. Just be cool, be appreciative, and be grateful,
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. No problem. Anytime. Have a great night and have a great weekend.
You too. Bye.